Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and welcome to Dennis Scott, episode 2. At the end of episode 1, a man had a run-in with Celia when he tried to tell her that he didn't know anything about what his daughter was studying at school. Celia ignored him on Sunday, and then decided she'd speak to him again on Monday evening. That's the yesterday in this screenshot. By Monday evening, our man had a few things that he needed to get off his chest. Or, to put it another way, he had a few copy and paste paragraphs that he simply had to, copy and paste. "Hope everything is fine and okay with you over there," he said. "Hi," said Celia. "Yes, thanks. We had a really busy day at work today. We found out one of the colleges will have fewer places for new students in September than we thought, so we had to contact the other colleges and departments to see if we could transfer some of the potential students. I think we got it sorted. And I have no idea whether that even makes any sense if you work at the University of Durham, and I apologise if it doesn't." "OK," said our man. "Hope you're not tired." "What are you doing at work today?" she asked. "I'm done with today's job, OK," he said. "Oh," said Celia, "I thought you worked 24 hours a day." "No," he said, "no one worked 24 hours. And you'll remember, or you might remember, that in the last video he told Celia that he works 24/7 and just sleeps occasionally. "So why did you say you did?" asked Celia, and sent him a screenshot of the bit where he'd said, "I work 24/7 every day. OK, I only rest for some hours." "I normally work 24 hours, back then," he tried. "Yesterday," said Celia, or it might have been Saturday. "But right now we're getting close to the end of the contract, so we rest." Oh, there you go, you see, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of us might have thought that coming towards the end of the contract, you'd be working extra hard to make sure all the work was done. "Changed your mind again?" said Celia, where he said, "No one works 24 hours. "No, I didn't change my mind," he said. He thought he'd try changing the subject. Never a good idea with my girls. "How's your family doing?" he asked. "Yes, you did," said Celia. "Were you telling me you worked 24/7 because you thought you'd try to impress me? My family are fine, thanks. More importantly, did you read your daughter's school reports?" "Yes," he said, "and it was wonderful. Thanks so much. So, what are your plans for tomorrow?" "Good," said Celia. "So, tell me," he said, "with the experience you have so far, do you really believe that you can find your soulmate through online dating?" I told you our man had some paragraphs that he needed to copy and paste. Well, here we go. "What experience?" asked Celia. "I'm not looking for anyone." "As for me, I believe and also have the courage that I will find the woman whom I wish to spend the rest of my life with. I do believe in soulmates. I have friends that have found theirs and live very happily with them, and I have decided a while ago that I would never settle for anyone less than my soulmate." "My husband was my soulmate," said Celia. "He was a lovely man." Followed by, "Will you be increasing oil production to compensate for the current situation?" And to prove that our man was nowhere near an oil rig, his reply was, "I don't know about that. Mine contract is to drill oil, that's all. OK. "You mean you don't communicate with the company to find out how much oil to drill, OK?" said Celia. "Do you just guess how much to produce?" To which his reply was 88.4 million barrels. "Regardless of demand?" asked Celia. "Daily, monthly, yearly?" "Daily," he replied. "So you produce the same amount every day, regardless of whether it's needed or not?" asked Celia. "Yes," he said. And I have no idea whether that's actually true or not. If any of my viewers have worked on an oil rig, perhaps they could let me know in the comments below. "That doesn't sound like good business practice to me," said Celia. "What do you do if there's an excess?" "It has never been excess," he said. "And if it happens that way, we will be so happy. Do you believe in distance relationship?" "OK," said Celia. "Will your company be making a lot of money now that the price of oil has gone so high?" "Yes," he said. "So tell me, do you believe in distance relationship?" "I thought that might be the case," said Celia. "All the other oil companies have put their prices up and are making a lot of money, aren't they? Please stop changing the subject. Why are you asking me if I believe in distance relationships? Are you looking for a relationship counsellor? I wouldn't know. I don't have any experience." "I don't think that long distance between two committed people would be a problem," he said, "as long as I know that my partner would be faithful and when there is true love, happiness and trust in the relationship, with smashing communication as well. And I believe communication is important in a relationship too. There you go, said Celia. You've answered your own question. Our man continued. Trust and honesty are very important to me. I like being told the whole truth, even if it hurts. No exaggerations, stretching, or own versions. It's a gift that I give it freely, and I expect the same in return. Without it, there is no relationship or friendship. That's what I'm looking for. See, said Celia, you didn't need my opinion. You know what you're looking for. A good relationship is one purely based on trust, if nothing else. Being able to be miles apart, yet never worrying a minute about what they're doing. Communication at all times is so important, and most importantly, respect for each other and their need for alone time, as well as together time. You should start a relationship blog, said Celia, or a TikTok channel. Good communication, continued our man, who wasn't about to be interrupted, never being ashamed of each other for any reason. On occasion, surprising your mate with a nice romantic date, or evening together, and telling each other, I love you. Long-distance relationship is one of the best relationships. It's really sweet to see two patient hearts that are willing to wait because they think that everything is worth it anyway. Yes, it's hard not being together physically. We cannot hold each other's hand. You cannot kiss and hug each other. But still, you know that one day we shall join hands together, kiss each other, eat together, and spend the rest of our lives together. And so, just like in all Disney films, they lived happily ever after. That was me adding that, obviously. How do you surprise someone with a romantic date if you've never even met and live hundreds of miles away? Said Celia. I will be coming to see you as soon as I'm done with my contract here, he said. Okay, said Celia. When will you finish? I only wish to dream for someone that will respect me and my daughter, and I will do the same for her and her kids. Want to hold my hand at the end of a long day, someone to be there for me as I am for her, sharing our lives, to talk with, to laugh with, and to love. Someone that wants to be part of the things I do, and vice versa. However, also need to respect, trust, and be supportive of each other's individuality as well. When will you finish? Asked Celia. I just have only 2 months to get done with this contract, he said. Which means you'll come in May? Asked Celia. I can take some time off work to show you round. That would be great. I need to give a couple of weeks' notice, she said, if I'm taking time off, so I'll need to know when you're going to come. Before then, he said, I will inform you and tell you all you need to know. Okay, said Celia, and off our man went again. Two people trusting each other fully, not being afraid to tell the other what one thinks, whether it be good or bad, and the other respecting their opinion, being able to enjoy the same things with each other, enjoying each other, and being able to take their separate lives and smoothly combine their lifestyles into a couple's lifestyle. That was very random, said Celia. I believe in honesty, communication, and definitely, honestly, but tactfully and respectfully expressing what I feel. A girl may feel intimidated. My woman would know and allow that I'm expressing myself, awaiting her opinion on what we should do, so that we can reach a conclusion together. And more than 50% of the time, 9 out of 10s, I compromise, because I'm that much into wanting to make my relationship work from my friend to my lover, companion, wife. How do you normally spend your leisure time? Are you there? Hello? Celia had had enough of his random ramblings by then, and so said, I'm just about to go to bed. Very well then. Good night. He sent her good morning wishes, and Celia replied, Good morning. I'm at work, but I've just stopped for a quick coffee. I think we're going to be busy again today. I didn't ask yesterday. Did you tell your daughter that she's welcome to call me if she wants to? Yes, dear. I told her, and she was so happy. Please, you have to take very good care of yourself while you're at work today. Okay, how's your day going so far? He said about an hour later. Celia was at work, so she ignored him. And then suddenly he announced, My Facebook was hacked this morning, so do not reply to anyone that write you with my picture and my name on Facebook. Oh dear, said Celia. I'm sorry about that. log in and change the password. I assumed that meant that Facebook had deleted his fake account, but they hadn't. In fact, it's still there. So I then wondered, as I think I wondered in a previous video, does that mean that he's fallen out with his fellow scammers in his scammer group, and he's afraid that someone else might try and steal his potential victim? I try, but couldn't, okay, he said, but I'm still trying my best to recover it back, dear. No one's posted anything, said Celia. I just looked. But I can't log in, he said. Hello, he said a bit later. Are you still busy? Hope you're not tired. Not yet, said Celia. It's only 8 p.m. Are you tired? Tell me, is your daughter in boarding school, or does she live with a nanny? You've told me both of those things. I'm thinking one of them is true, and the other one you said to try to impress me. Not sure which is which. Our man took a few minutes to think about that, and came back and said, yes, my daughter is in boarding school, but whenever she's on holiday, the nanny is at home waiting for her, because that's her job, is to take care of the house and my daughter. Okay, said Celia. So, what are you doing, he asked. Chopping up the fossilised tiger in my coal hole, said Celia. What are you doing? Nothing much, he said. Just here, chatting with you, and apparently not reading anything that she types. For someone who claims to work 24/7, you don't ever seem to actually do any work, said Celia. What are you doing at work today? I told you, I work 24/7, he said. Yes, that was then, so you have to listen to me while I tell you all you need to know about my job. Okay? Okay, said Celia. I'm all ears while you tell me all I need to know about your job. Okay, he said. Will it take long? Asked Celia. Should I go and make a cup of tea? Go ahead, he said. Okay, said Celia. In fact, I'll go and take a shower. Then you can tell me all about your work. Okay, he said. Once you're done taking your bath, you should tell me, so I can tell you all you need to know. Okay, said Celia a bit later. I'm back. Are you going to call me and tell me? I will text you all you need to know. Okay, he said. Just hold on. I'll be back. He returned. I thought you were going to text me everything I need to know, said Celia. I'm off to bed, so you have all night to do it. And so, after Celia had gone to bed, our man started. A rig is of two types, offshore and onshore rig. Offshore rig is located, no surprises here, ladies and gentlemen, in the middle of the sea, while onshore rig, equally without any surprises, ladies and gentlemen, is located along the shore of the sea, land. He sent for a photo of the Deepwater Asgard. I looked that up. Deepwater is the company, and the Deepwater Asgard is a drilling ship. This is the company I work with right now, he said. Remember that, Deepwater. Then he sent a photo of the heliport on a rig called Kittiwake. That's me and my boys when we arrive here in Norway, he said, and I'll tell you a bit about Kittiwake in a minute. He sent a photo of an entire oil platform. That's the rig. I'm not supposed to send you this picture, he said. It's against the rules here. If they find out, I can lose my job with this. They have tried before to sink into the rig, so please don't share it out. He sent another photo of some oil workers. That's me and my boys when we are going to our room when we arrive here in Norway, he said. I have about 20 boys working under me here in the rig. He sent another photo of some workers riding on a sort of airlift thing. I don't know what they're called. These are what we use to transfer from the rig to the ship to get our rest after we're done working for the day. Remember that for later in the video as well. Then he sent a photograph of some land and a house. That is my house and land in Ohio, Cleveland, which I use as a loan before getting this contract. This contract is worth $6.9 million. I can wait to get done with this contract and come home. Good morning, said Celia the next morning. Did you tell me which company you work for? Ecofisk, he said. Ecofisk Oilfield. Remember that photo that he said was the company he worked for? Deepwater. And now I'm going to tell you something about Kittiwake. Kittiwake was the oil platform that he claimed to be arriving on when he sent that photograph of the helipad. Except that he claims to be in Norway, and Kittiwake is located 100 miles east of Aberdeen, in Scotland. And remember, he claimed his rig was producing something like 85,000 barrels of oil a day. Well, Kittiwake produces 36,000 barrels of oil per day. And when I say produces, I mean produced, because apparently it was decommissioned in 2009. I guess nobody told our man that all his efforts are in vain. So please, guys, if the person that you're talking to online starts sending you photos of where they work or what they claim to do your homework. After our man had changed the company that he works for, Celia went back to work. She reappeared in the evening. "What are you doing now?" he asked. "Running backwards round the kitchen," said Celia. "What are you doing now?" Our man ignored her until the following morning, when he sent her a good morning heart. Celia ignored him until lunchtime. "Hi," she said. "I'm on my lunch break." "How are you doing?" he asked. "I always wanted to talk to you every morning before going to the platform with my boys, but you never come up." "I don't usually come online before I go to work," said Celia. "I'm not really awake enough." "How do you get to the platform?" "You really want to know all about my job?" he said. "Do you know what I mean by platform?" "Not really," said Celia. "You said before going to the platform. I was just curious about how you get there." "Where we drill the oil," he said. "I don't know," said Celia. "That's what you said before going to the platform. I just asked you how you get to the platform." "By plane," he said. "And it very risky." "OK," said Celia. "Where do you and the boys stay?" "We stay here, in the rig," he said. "So why do you have to fly to work each day?" asked Celia. "The rig is so big," he said, "and you know that. We always fly. OK?" "You have to fly from one bit of the rig to another," said Celia. "Goodness, it must be huge. I guess it's just a small plane. How long is the runway on an oil rig?" "Not too long," he said. Apparently his rig had expanded several times in size since I started making this video, because I'm sure you all remember this photo, where he claimed that hoist is, quote, "what we use to transfer from the rig to the ship to get our rest after we're done working for the day. He always pick us up in the morning and in the evening at the closure hours." "Your house in Cleveland looks amazing," said Celia. "Yes," he said. "I also sent you the picture of the house." "That's how I know it looks amazing, silly," said Celia. "I have to go back to work now. Maybe we could call this evening." He didn't call her that evening, and they made a bit of small talk the next day, and then the following day he posted a good morning picture. The mind will not always remember exactly what happened, but the heart will always remember the feeling. "Good morning." "Good morning," said Celia. "How was your night?" he asked. "I was here talking to you until I went for a shower and went to bed to read." As I say, they'd been making small talk. "Is it your mind that doesn't always remember exactly what happened?" "Oh, really?" he said. "What do you mean?" asked Celia. "That's what you said to me. Read that picture you sent." Then, in true scammer style, he got on to asking her what she was doing. "I mean, what are you doing at the moment?" he asked. "Sleeping in my neighbour's treehouse," said Celia. "What are you doing at the moment?" "Thinking," he said, "about you and the day I will see you, my dear." "It won't be long," said Celia. "I'll take a week off work so I can show you round Durham." "That would be wonderful," he said. "If you let me know which airport you're coming to, I can come and meet you." "Before coming, I will let you know which airport I will be using. OK?" "Well, it would be handy to let her know before you arrive, mate. It's a bit late if you don't tell her till you've got here." "Where will you fly from?" asked Celia. "From Norway," he said. "Yes, obviously," said Celia. "Which airport in Norway, dingbat?" "I will find out before telling you," he said. Well, you couldn't tell her before you found out, could you? "My nearest airports are Newcastle or Teesside," she said. "If you can't get a flight to either of those, come to Manchester." "Then I will have to use the one close to you, OK?" he said. "I don't know if flights from anywhere in Norway come to them. You'll have to look," replied Celia. "Yes, I will have to know before booking flight ticket. I will have to find out," he said. Celia had had enough of him by then, so she ignored him for a couple of days, and then he tried to call her at silly o'clock in the morning, I know a lot of people are up at 6:30 in the morning, but I'm afraid I'm not one of them. I'm so worried about you right this moment, he said. I really hope you're safe and sound. Celia decided to make an excuse. Hi, she said, I'm sorry. I wasn't feeling well yesterday. I think I ate something that wasn't good, so I haven't been to work for a couple of days. I've just managed to eat dinner, so I think I'll be okay again tomorrow. Oh my goodness, he said, when he read her message the next morning. I never knew that you were sick, and I was so worried about you. Hope you're getting better, dear. Hello? Hi, said Celia later that day. I'm at work. I'm still feeling a bit weak, so I'm going to leave now and go home for a sleep. Hello, he replied. Hope you're getting better, because I've missed you so much. And then, the following day, he felt this uncontrollable urge to fall in love. As you do. I've kept my feelings for you contained for as long as I could. I'm in love with you, though, and true, honest love shouldn't be contained and kept quiet for this long. There is so much about you that most men don't see. They only see half. They see your body, but my love for you is way more than skin deep. My feelings for you grow more and more every day, and my love for you grows deeper and more everlasting with every passing minute. You mean so much to me. I mean, when I'm with you, online, you make me feel so excited on my worst days and makes them so much better for me when thinking of you too, when you're gone. You've got to admit, there's a lot to be said for just Googling your sayings rather than trying to write them yourself. Or just having you give me a hug makes me all warm and tingly inside. I dream of you day in and day out. You're all that's ever on my mind. I hate leaving my work because I'm afraid I might miss you online to talk with you. I would walk 1,000 miles to see you for 1 minute and have not one question about it. I'm in love with you and have been in love with you. I love you. Oh, said Celia, how lovely. I promise to love you forever, he continued the next morning. I promise to make you happy. With this fire of life that is burning brightly in my heart, I will be as loving and as passionate as you want me to be. So, stand by me, stay with me, follow me, support me in every way. Hold my hands and don't ever let it go. Let us live together as one, forever. Do not let any amount of bickering come between us. Let us grow old together, happily ever after, with a heart so true and a love so deep. I promise to love you forever. It won't be long until you can come here and we can meet properly, said Celia. Could you come for a long weekend in March? It would be so lovely to meet you, and you'd only need to take a couple of days' leave. That would be nice. OK, he said. I will have to inform the company about this new development. In what date in March will I be taking the leave? So you can also take yours, dear. Are you there? Hi, replied Celia. I'm just on my lunch break. It would have to be next weekend, 25th to the 28th of March. Come on Friday. Sure, he said, I will, but you will have to mail my company. Of course, said Celia. I'll email my HR department and tell them I'd like Friday off. That will be better, he said, and he sent her a Gmail address. That is the mail of my company, he said. Why do I need to know that? Asked Celia. You will have to mail my company to inform them that you requested the present of your husband at home, he said. Don't be ridiculous, said Celia. You aren't my husband. Yes, I know, he said. And it's you they employ, not me. FGS, man. I'm sure you can email your own company. In fact, she continued, if you're such a pathetic wimp that you can't even send an email to your own company to ask for 2 days off, I'm not sure I want anything to do with you. I certainly wouldn't want to marry you. Perish the thought. OK, honey, said our man. His plan for replying to Celia, telling her how much she should pay for his leave, having been thwarted, he had to think of something else. Dear, he said, I have mailed my company, and they have decided to grant me leave. That's good, said Celia. That they will give me the final answer tomorrow morning, he said. Final answer to what? Said Celia. You just said they'd agreed to your leave. Yes, they did, OK, he said. They were saying something about the date you pick. OK? What did they say about the date? Said Celia. Don't talk in riddles. That they will let me know in the morning. OK? Remember, I'm getting close to the end of my contract here, so I was not expecting to be leaving the rig soon. The only reason they are agreed was because I've not lived here since I arrived here, okay?" "You aren't making any sense," said Celia. "You said they agreed your leave. Are you telling me they didn't? What did the email actually say? And stop talking in riddles." "Yes, dear," he said. "I just received a mail now that my leave has been granted, that I have a leave of 1 week." "Okay," said Celia. "I'm not sure I can take a whole week off, but I'll ask." "So happy right now. Finally, I'm going to meet with you," he said. "You do not know how much you mean to me." "I'm really excited," said Celia, "but I have to get back to work now. I have a Zoom meeting in 10 minutes. "And me too," he said. "All right, talk to you later," and lots of hearts. The following morning, Celia asked him which day he was coming and which day he'd leave. "You didn't answer my question," she said, when she had to ask it again. "If you have a whole week off, which day will you come and which day will you leave? I was thinking you'd come on Friday and leave on Monday morning, so I asked for Friday off work. But if you're coming for a whole week, I need to know which days you'll be here so I can take the right days off work." "I will be coming on the 28th, okay," he said. "I will be leaving the platform to the rig on the 25th, my dear." "Okay," said Celia. "That's Monday. I'll tell them I don't want next Friday off. Where will you go before you come here? Will you be leaving on the 1st of April? "On the 2nd of April I will be going back to Norway," he said. "Okay," she replied. "Do you know what time your flights are and which airport you'll come to?" "You told me about 2 airports that's close to you where you can pick me up from, okay?" he said. "I told you 2 airports," said Celia, "and said if you can't get flights to either of those, you'll need to go to Manchester. So which airport can you actually get flights to?" "To Manchester, okay," he said. "What times?" asked Celia. "Will you please listen to me, okay?" he said. "Don't be rude," said Celia. "You haven't said anything about times. I need to know so I can take the right times off work." "I'll arrive in Manchester Airport on the 28th in the morning," he said. "What time?" asked Celia. "Which flights are you coming on? If you're just going to talk in stupid riddles, I'll just leave you to make your own way to Durham. Phone me when you arrive. I won't take Monday off. Arrive in Durham any time after 5 p.m. and I'll pick you up at the station." "Dear, I'm still in the platform, okay," he said. "I'll be leaving the platform to the rig on the 25th. That's when I'll start making arrangements, okay?" "Oh, FGS," said Celia. "I know you're on the effing platform. I know you're leaving on the 25th. And then our man decided it was time to invoke Plan B for getting money from Celia, Plan A having failed. "Before then, I will have to pay for a helicopter that will take me from the rig to land, since I'm going for a vacation." "Okay," said Celia. "That's a bit mean of them. I thought helicopters came and went several times a day. You'll probably find a free seat on one of them." "And that's going to cost me $1,000 US," he said. "There's no way I can get a free seat from them because I'm not done with my contract here." "How much is your contract worth?" asked Celia. "My contract is worth over $6.9 million," he said. "Then you can afford $1,000 for the flight," said Celia. "Stop moaning about it." "There's no way I can do that, okay," he said. "Don't be ridiculous," said Celia. "If you don't want to come, just say so." "Remember," he said, "I told you I use everything that I have to get loan before getting this contract. I use my house, my cars and lands as a loan before getting this contract." "Ask them for part payment," said Celia. "I'm sure they'll lend you $1 million or $2. "I only have $500 with me here," he said, "till the end of the contract. Okay? I've done that before now, but they refuse. Okay?" And just like that, our man found himself ghosted. Are you there? Hello? I guess he's going to have to stay on that oil rig. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do by now. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share it with your friends. Please comment down below. Please give it a big thumbs up. And I'll see you again in another video.